this thing user beginner friendly. So let's start. My first thing that I would like to discuss here, that is why SQL. Why SQL is actually required in data science. So if you will see any posting inside data science job, being it data analysis, business analysis, and now there are new fancy terms like product analysis, finance analyst. There are something like data project management. Such new jobs are coming up, but trust me, everywhere SQL is the beginning. Everywhere SQL is required, and what I have personally experienced in the job market, even in actual job when SQL is not required, even during interview, they will ask you SQL questions. So SQL is something that you should know if you want to go into data science industry. And I believe most of you are from CS background or coding background, so it won't be very difficult for you. So why SQL is required? SQL is used majorly for data management. Now picture this with me. You are walking into a giant warehouse which is filled with towering shelves packed with information, just like this. And what information it has? It can have customer detail, it can have financial records. So if you will look into data just like a warehouse, you will never be able to get the right box. Right box will be customer details, website traffic, you name it, and you will have it there. It's overwhelming, right? But in this warehouse or in this data world, here comes the SQL. SQL will help you just like a toolkit, just like a kit which is required in the data world, which will help you in lifting and organizing information with ease. So it is quite useful for data management to help you easily get information from data at high efficiency. High efficiency is very important. SQL will give you result even before you can say data or SQL. Beside that job opportunity, I was talking about this thing that in job market, SQL is something which is very much required if you are looking into data science job. So whether you are a business analyst who is trying to understand customer details, or if you are a data analyst who is trying to search some hidden pattern, or who is trying to spot some trends, or if you are a data engineer who is building pipelines that feed the information flow, SQL is required everywhere. And why SQL is so special, why SQL is so important? Because it lets you ask questions. SQL will give you all the answer of data related questions. You can ask about the trend. You can really compare the two marketing channel, that how they are performing, and you can retrieve data very easily with the use of SQL. Next thing which makes this important is it is very easy to learn. So when we have a vast ocean of data, and if you want a specific information with which you can find trends, you can spot pattern, you can generate report, you need something to get the exact data. And here SQL comes into the picture. And SQL is very easy to learn. If you are already from a coding background or from a CS background, and if you have seen C++, Java, Python, all those languages, now if you will see SQL, it is very easy comparative to that. So it's easy to learn compared to other programming languages, and that's why it's very user friendly, and now it's a trending language in the world of data. No complex coding is required. You can easily learn SQL. So let's dig deeper into SQL. I'll tell you about basic concept of SQL, like what is SQL. So SQL is actually a standard database language. So database is a place where all the data is stored. Now, if you want to talk with that data, or if you want to communicate with that database, you want something, you want a language. Let's say two of us, if we are communicating, I am using English, Hindi, or any other language to uh, process my thoughts, to communicate my thoughts. Similarly, if you want to talk with a database, you need a language, and SQL is that language. SQL is structured query language. When I say structured query language, it is used uh, more for relational data. What is relational data? Relational data, you can say tables are considered relational data where we have column and rows. So here SQL is a language which is being used to communicate with database. SQL is a query language that communicate with database, and you can execute queries. With the use of queries, you can create, update, delete, or retrieve data in database. Now, let's say we have a database. In that database, obviously, we want to put in data. So for that, SQL is used. Again, we want to update the data. Why update? Let's say I'm starting a business. I have basic customer detail. Now, obviously, new customer will keep on adding. They will keep on maybe buying stuff from me. So we have to update that information in data. Then we should have something to delete as well, because customer can decide to leave your place. And then retrieve the data. Retrieving data is like bread and butter for all data analysis and business analysts. This is where we use the SQL most. Now, I was talking about database. Okay, database. There are several different database where we use SQL. So in market, there are few databases which are being used. First is MySQL. MySQL is quite common, which is being used by several people. Then MS SQL Server. This is also being used at several places. Then this PostgreSQL SQL, and there are so many. So these databases are nothing but they are like simple databases, but given by different organizations like Oracle, Microsoft. In all these databases, we use SQL, but the thing is, the language will differ, the syntax will differ. Not majorly, very minor. If you learn like MySQL, you will be able to work on MS SQL Server and PostgreSQL, everything. This minor change will be there. Now, let's talk about application of SQL. So when we are talking about application of SQL, with the use of SQL, when we really use SQL, we can, I told you, we can update data, we can retrieve data. So we, in real world, how we use SQL, we use it for reports, we use it to find trends. So let's see why application of SQL is important and how SQL is being used. So SQL, it is used as a data definition language, which is DDL. With this use, we can create a database, we can define the structure, use it, and discard it. For example, just say I have a customer who want to set up a database for marketing campaign. So for that database creation, SQL is used as a data definition language, and we can create a database, we can use it, and if it's not required, we can even discard the database. So this is important for data organization and easier analysis. Obviously, if I want to get something out of data, I want to have a organized data so that I can analyze that. So here, data definition language is used. Next is data manipulation language. So SQL is used as a data manipulation language as well. This is very important in most of the jobs, where you can enter the data, you can modify data, and you can extract the data. Let's say I have a new customer and I want to add those entries, or I want to update product prices. I have changed prices of my product and I want to update that. Decide that, let's say I want to extract sales data for some specific purpose. Let's say I want to run a sale. So I will extract the data and check wherever customers are not making maybe much of purchase. I want to start a sale. So I want to know which is that place where customers are not making purchase. So here data manipulation language is used. uh, in Personally, in my job, I'm using it to generate reports. Say, let's say I want to connect SQL with Power BI or with Tableau, because data is too much. My organization will have a vast ocean of data, but I want only a particular information. I was telling you the warehouse example. Now that warehouse is filled with boxes, but I want only one box to create a report. So there I use SQL, I get that particular data set which is required, and we put it inside Power BI and Tableau, and we create report out of that. We create dashboard and perform some data analysis over that. Another is data control language. It is very important. SQL is used as data control language as well, and it specify how we can protect our database against corruption and misuse. So you know about data integrity, and in today's world, data breach is quite common. So here, data control is important, and as what SQL does, it specify the user access control, permission, or data encryption, that not everyone can create a database, not everyone can delete record. So it specify the user access control, that which user can do which task. So here also SQL plays a very important role, so that there are some organization who is dealing with sensitive information. So here data integrity becomes very important. Now, next thing is basic of SQL and its key concept. So when we dig deeper into basics of SQL and its key concept, so here I will not go very deep because it's just the beginning. You should know the basic things. So we will talk about essential CRUD commands. What are CRUD commands? So they are create, update, and delete. Whenever you want to create something in a database, being a database itself, or you want to create a table inside database. So I told you database is something very big. Inside that database, you can have multiple tables. So if you want to create table, if you want to insert the data inside table, those commands are called CRUD commands. Next is commonly used retrieval commands. I told you retrieval commands are like bread and butter for most of the data analysis jobs. So in the retrieval command, where this is where we do most exciting stuff. So if I talk about CRUD command, first is create. Create table customer. This is a command. So if you have a platform where you can run this command, you can try this. What this will do, it will create a table called customer. So this will be the table name, and create table is the command. Now don't forget to put this semicolon. I have seen several times that query is not giving result, and you will keep on checking the syntax. You will keep on thinking why the results are not coming, but it's very simple thing, the semicolon. You have to put semicolon at the end of each query. Beside that, SQL is case insensitive language. What do you mean? What do I mean by case insensitive? That it doesn't mean if you write the code in capital letter or small letter, it will give you the result. So that's why it's very easy to learn. Next CRUD command is update. Update is command. Now we want to update customer, which is a table. And what do we want to update? I want to set phone number is equals to new number where ID is equals to 123. Now, what's the use of these commands? So when we are creating a data set, let's say I'm starting a new online store and I need a database to manage customer information, I will create the table. Now, inside that table, let's say a customer is there who wants to change his or her number. So I will use this update command, and with the use of update command, we can use the number. Now again, delete command. Delete command, when a customer no longer wants to have their account with us, we can delete that. So for delete, we will type delete from customer is again the table name, where email is equals to old email or new email. You can just write any customer email, whichever you want to delete. Now, where is again a command, where is used to give condition, because if I'll write delete from customer email, so then all the customer emails will get deleted. So you have to be very specific. That's why delete, update, create, these commands are something which are not given to everyone in the organization for use, because even if by mistake you delete something, it is gone from database, which then becomes a problem. One second, I'm not able to change this slide. Okay, so next, let's talk about retrieval commands. Retrieval commands, which we will use maximum times. First retrieval command, which is very important, it is select and from. Select and from are very important in SQL. So select star from. So what do you want to select? Star will give you everything from the table. And from is the table name. You will give the table name and then you will give select star from, and you will get all the data from that particular table. Now let's say that I want a list of all customer who has made a purchase in last month. I can have several customers, but I want details of only those customer who has purchased something from me. So I will use this select and from command. Now select distinct, it is another command which will give you distinct result, because let's say I just want the name of customer. The data set can have duplicate records. So select distinct will give me distinct names. Then where we have already spoken about, where it is used for condition. Wherever we want to give condition, it will give less. If we give condition to command, it will give lesser data. It will give very specific to the point data. Next is and or not. Again, these are used with where, or it can be used with combined condition to get even more precise filtering. You can see here after where it is written and. So I want to put two conditions, so I can put and or not in between. Then comes the order by command. Order by command will give you result. Let's say I want a list of product from cheapest to luxury products. So it will give a result in that particular ascending order or descending order, whatever we want. Then next is group by. Group by is a command which is used to categorize. So let's say I want a count of product for each category. I have like 10 categories, maybe food, clothing, footwear. So it will give you result from each category. So group by is used for categorization. Now next command is having. Having is used after group by. Let's say I want to put condition even after group by command. Okay, I want filtering group by data further. Then I can use the having command. Next are aggregation function. What are aggregation function? Aggregation function are like minimum, maximum, average. I want average from some number. I want minimum from some number, maximum from some number. Let's say I want uh, data who has, I want data for a particular customer who has made the maximum purchase from me. So I can use such commands. Okay, by mistake, I have placed group by again. Please ignore this. Now, let's move to learning path, which was the main agenda of this session. I wanted to share a complete learning path with you guys so you can have a step-by-step path which can be used to achieve this SQL, where you can use the SQL in your career. Okay, so I would say first step, I am giving you a 4-step guide to become a master in SQL, and after that you will be able to use SQL in your career, in your uh, job, in best possible way. So first step where you have to start with SQL, and in your first week or first step you can take as much time as you want, but I would say 1 week is enough for the first step. Here you will understand overview of database, including type of databases. So here you will understand uh, what are the types of databases. I told you there are different kind of databases, where is relational database, non-relational database. So you try to understand different type of databases and how they are different, how data is stored in these different kind of database. Now big data is new buzzword, so try to understand what that is. Then there is a acid property of relational database, try to understand about that. Then try to understand about DBMS, database management system. Once you are done with the basics of database, you can move forward and you can set up your machine to run SQL. One, you can either install MySQL on your machine, or there are like W3 School, Hacker Rank, where you can execute codes online. So you can do that as well. The only thing with W3 School and Hacker Rank is that they will have their own database, and you have to run the queries on that database. But if you install MySQL, you can get your own database, you can create your own database and retrieve data from that. So it is up to you, whatever you want to do, but just set up your machines to run SQL. And just in case you get stuck somewhere in setting up the machine, you can always YouTube anything. You will find all these things on YouTube. After that, once you are done with setting up, learn about the basic data manipulation, like use of select statement, use of where, order by, whatever I was explaining you now. Just try to execute those things, try to learn about all these things, and uh, definitely by the end of first week you'll be able to execute basic query, and you'll be able to manipulate database in a single table. You can use W3 School extensively for basics. It is very good platform. You can definitely use that. Next is working with multiple tables. So in the second week, what you will do, you will move to using multiple tables. So I told you database can have multiple tables. So now you will learn that how you create multiple tables, how you join those tables. And there are concepts like primary key, foreign key, candidate key. So when you want to uh, join two table, or if when you set up database with multiple table, you have to use primary key, foreign key. So try to understand those concepts, try to understand different kind of joins, like inner join, outer join, right join, left join. Try to understand about subquery. So what is subquery? When you put one query inside other, that is subquery. So learn about subquery, learn about aggregate functions. There are some things that with the use of where you cannot use few aggregation functions. So try to learn about all those things. Once you are done with your week 2, or you're done with your step 2, take your time, don't be too fast. If you are taking even more than 1 week, 1 week or 2 week, that's fine. Just uh, try to understand. So this is going to be your foundation, and make sure your foundation is strong. Because even if you get all the command, you try to memorize all the command, but until unless your foundation is not strong, you won't be able to manipulate the data. And trust me on this, in future very complex thing will come, so your foundation should be strong. So in week 3, what you can do, uh, you start with creating and managing database and tables. Create database, create table, uh, insert record in that table. So in the project I will tell you how to do this as well. So create database, create table, insert record, keep on inserting record in your database, so you can build your own database and work around that, do some manipulation over there. Learn about data types in SQL. So there are different data types like date, time, temporal data, uh, numerical data, string. So learn about all those different data types. Try to update table, try to delete some record, use drop, delete, truncate. Try to find difference between drop, delete, and truncate. This is a very important interview question. Try to find difference between that. Learn about constraints. What is unique? What is primary? Not null, check, default. They are all different kind of constraint which uh, we use in SQL while creating tables. So try to learn about that. Once you are done with that, now move to step 4. Let me tell you one more thing. Step 2 and 3 is where you are going to practice a lot. Practice is the game. So make sure that you practice a lot and you will be able to practice on W3 School and HackerRank. So practice a lot. Once you are comfortable with writing query, with executing query, with database creation, then you move to data control statement and optimization. So what is data control and optimization? Optimization is where you try to optimize your query. Let's say if your query is giving a result in 30 seconds, now you want to optimize and you want result within 20 seconds or 15 seconds. So there are few optimization techniques that you can use. There are some modifications that you can do in your query, and in later phase this is important. So try to learn about views. Views are used in SQL to get result in lesser time. Try to learn about triggers, stored procedures. Stored procedures are something where a query is stored and you don't have to write query again and again. You can just execute stored procedure and that particular query will get executed. Let's say you want some result every week. So obviously you will not write the same query every week, or if you want to share that with someone, you can just share store procedure. Query optimization. Then there is something called data normalization and denormalization. Learn about that and learn that how does this normalization and denormalization affect database designing. So these are small things that you can do. And this movie project is something very common that you will find anywhere on internet. So try to execute that. So this was my basic thing with respect to your 4-step program where you can learn step by step. And trust me, if you will follow these steps, you will definitely be able to uh, get SQL and you will be definitely able to get a job from SQL. Next is courses and tutorial books that you can use for SQL. One thing, disclaimer, I want to tell you everyone, there is free courses. There are a lot of free courses. There are a lot of information on the internet that you can use extensively. There's not much need for purchased courses. So as much as uh, you can use free courses, please try to use that. There are few courses that I would suggest. First one is Coursera. Coursera may you will find multiple courses on SQL and they will be free. It's just that you will not get certification, but that's fine. You want to learn. So you can use Coursera, you can use edX. On edX also you will find multiple courses. You can use Khan Academy's SQL course, Code Academy's Learn SQL, SQL Bolt. W3 School, I would say if you are just starting, if you are a beginner, must use W3 School. You will be able to understand it in a very simple language. Beside that, you will get a platform to execute those courses. If you will use Khan Academy has bite-sized lesson and practice exercise that you can do. So these two I will recommend highly for beginners. Once you are done with that, you can move to some advanced courses, but for beginning, these are the one where you can spend most amount of times. Now, if I talk about few YouTube channels, so Free Code Camp, I think you might know about Free Code Camp. Here you will get the resources. Then this Analytics by Nags. I have used this a lot. This person is great. He explained it in a very detailed manner. So once you are done with your basics, you can move to this. And then this Alex the Analyst. This Alex the Analyst, this person is himself a data analyst and he tell about real life project and real examples. So you can definitely go through this thing. And then obviously you need some place to practice that, because you should have a question to answer that, right? So from where you will get that question, from where you will know that how SQL is being used in interviews, in organizations. So for that you can use W3 School. I have already told about that. W3 School is for basic. Once you are done with your basic, then move to hacker rank. Like once you start learning about subquery, uh, aggregation, joins, then you move to hacker rank. Hacker rank will give you few questions, and then you have to write query for that. Like it will ask you, uh, give me a query. So in the database I want uh, salary for each department, or I want maximum salary from each department, something like that. It will give you those questions, and you have to write query for that. Next comes Strata Scratch. I have used Strata Scratch a lot in my life after getting into advanced SQL. So once you are comfortable with basic, you are comfortable with intermediate, if you want advanced query, you can use Strata Scratch. In Strata Scratch, they give real life queries, like they will give example from Netflix, Starbucks, Facebook. So you name it, all the big companies, their queries will be there. LinkedIn. So you can use the Strata Scratch to get real life example. Even in interviews, you will find questions from Strata Scratch if you are going for some advanced SQL. So these are the platform where you can practice a lot. Now let's talk about books. I know most of we do not like reading book, but trust me, books play a very important role. All the platform will give you a place to execute query. You will be able to know about commands, but if you really want your foundations to be strong, please read books. With the use of books, you will be able to understand the query execution. So when we talk about query execution in SQL, there is a sequence. In that sequence only the query will get executed. So you will get those details. You will be able to understand that how you can optimize your query, which particular command take more time, which particular command take less time. So whenever you will put where in your query will take lesser time. So for all those understanding, to have a strong foundation, you should go for books. And these are the books that I would suggest. This is a very basic book, and you do not need any knowledge of SQL to read this. This is very basic, beginner friendly. SQL Quick Start Guide. You can start with this. Once you are done with this book, you can move to Sam's Teach Yourself SQL in 10 minutes. It will not take 10 minutes. Obviously, it will take more time. But once you are done with your basic book, you can move to this. And after that, this is a very amazing book. Orally, if you have read something in data science, this publication is where we go first. Learning SQL, generate, manipulate, and retrieve data. This book is very amazing book. I have read it multiple times, and it will give you deep understanding about SQL. So once you are comfortable with SQL, once you start writing your query and you want to dig deeper into SQL, go for this book. So this was about books. Now let's talk about project. Project play a very important role. You have to do several projects. So I will tell you few project, few basic and few advanced. Basic projects are something that you do for your practice so that you know better about SQL. Advanced projects are something that you put in your resume, because obviously if you'll put these basic projects, everyone is doing it. And here's my tip. If you want to put something on resume, always put something advanced, something complicated, because simple basic thing, everyone is doing that. So I will tell you basic projects. You can use those projects for practice, but try to do one or two, not so many, either one to advanced project, and put those advanced project in your CV. And one thing I forgot to tell you, in these resources, there is one tip from my end. Use Geek for Geek extensively. Whenever you are not able to understand anything, just write that and use Geek for Geek. It will give you some or other result. Beside that, use this stackoverflow.com. So whenever you are not able to execute any query or it is giving you some or other error, just write that particular query and write that error. You will get some error code in SQL if you are not able to execute some query. Write Stack Overflow after that. You will get a solution. You don't need anyone to tell you that why your query is not performing well. Just write Stack Overflow, and some or other person might have written about that, and you will be able to get your answer. Now for project, I was talking about project. So basic project is analyze music library. When I'm saying analyze music library, what you have to do, create your own database. Everyone listen to music, right? If not music, something else. Just create a database for yourself. Uh, in that database, fill that what you are listening every day. Uh, like in particular mood, if you are in good mood, you are listening to this. Create a table, song, artist, movie, mood. Create several columns and just start filling with data. And once, maybe after 20 days, 1 month, once you are comfortable with SQL, now go to that database again and now find what are the most listened artists by you, hidden gems that you might have discovered. Or after that, you can even create a personalized list as per your mood. So try to do that. That can work as a project for you. Beside that, you can track your personal fitness. So what you have to do, just create a database for your a workout activity, like exercise, what exercise you are doing, duration, how much calorie you have burned, and in the month, and analyze your progress, identify workout trend and the fitness goals if you have set any. You can do that. Another project that you can do, you can analyze weather data. So for that, just download historical weather data for your city and find hottest and coldest month, calculate average rainfall, predict upcoming weather trend if you can. So these are the things that you can do, and you can find question for yourself. So when you are entering into data, this is something which is required. Questions are important. You will find answers somehow, but you should know what you are looking for. So try to ask question to yourself. Try just ask what you are looking for and try to get that from the particular data. Build database for yourself, and that's why I was saying ki use MySQL to build your own database and put retrieval query on that database. Once you are done with those basics, obviously you should not put these things on your CV. You can, but my suggestion is you should put something advanced, because basic everyone is doing. So in advance, what you can do, you can develop a data visualization dashboard. So how SQL is used in that, you will use SQL as a query language to get data inside dashboard and build a very basic dashboard, even if you are not very good with data visualization tool. You can build a recommendation engine. You can scrap and analyze data from websites. You can participate in various data science competition. That is also another thing that you will find easily on internet. Now all these things, you will say that how can we build such projects. You will easily find these complete tutorial on YouTube, on GitHub. So look for that. You will definitely find it. I would suggest one website, which is Forage. On Forage, you will find projects for data visualization, scrape and analyze data. And once you complete that project, you will get certificate as well. So you can do that. Various companies place their project on that. You will get certified. So yeah, you can use Forage for your advanced project. So start with basic, get comfortable, and then do some advanced project. That's it. That was from my end. Thank you very much. And I'm open for question if you have any.
Yeah. Yeah. So actually, yes, we do have questions. So there are two questions that have come in. One is please explain DML command, and the other is please explain DDL commands. So just was wondering if these two are related. So hence
Yeah.
I just asked the two of them together.
Yeah. So, data definition language and data manipulation language. Data definition is when you want to create something. Let's say I want to create a database, I want to create a table. Then we use data definition command, which is create. Now, database is already created, table is already created, but I want to retrieve some data, like I want to take out some data from that. Then we will use data manipulation. Select, from, modify. These are data manipulation language. I was telling you select star from. So one table is already created and I want to extract some data out of that. Then I will use data manipulation language. Select star from. These are command for this particular area. I hope it's clear.
Hello. Uh, uh, yeah. Hello. Can you hear me? You're actually,
Yeah,
Preeti, your
Niharika.
voice is breaking a little. Uh, I'm I'm not sure if it was. Haha. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you. Is it clear from my end?
Okay, this seems to be.
Hello?
Eh, Yeah, actually, I'm facing a bit of network issue. I think that is why I'm not able to hear you properly. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, I just hope that it's audible to everyone else. Just let us know in the chat if it is or if everything's audible.
Yeah, please, if you are able to hear me clearly, please write down in chat. Sorry for the interruption, guys. Niharika is facing some internet issue. So, okay, she'll join us back. By that time, I'll take up your question. So, another question that I can see from you is how to get some free projects that we can add in our resume and get it certified by some organizations. This is where I was telling about Forage. Forage. Write down this name. This is a website where several companies place their free projects, and you can use that website. You can uh, participate, you can complete your project, submit that project, company will approve it and they will give you certification if everything is good. uh, the thing is, once you know about SQL, when you learn about these tools, then only go for these projects, because they will give you basic guide, but you should have understanding, then only you will be able to do those projects. So use forex, that will give you certification as well. Beside that, free projects you can find from GitHub, YouTube, but there you will not get certification. For certification you can use forex.
Uh, Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Neharika, we can.
Acha, okay, okay. I think there was actually some network issue from my end and I got logged out. So I'm just trying
Yeah, that's
to
all right. I was just carrying forward the session when you was not there. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I hope I'm audible now clearly.
Yes, you are.
Okay, okay. So okay, I can't see the chats that were there previously. Okay, if there is any other question or any other query that anyone needs to ask, you can just type in because I think because I got logged out, I've somehow lost the previous chats. So
There is one more question that I would like to answer.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
The
sure.
question is
Please go
about
ahead.
where we can read for optimization technique. So I was telling you about book. Please read this book, and here you will be able to get the optimization technique, learning SQL. This is a very amazing book. If you want a deep understanding, read this book. You will be able to understand about optimization, about big data, all those things.
Okay. There's one question if we will get a certificate or not. So usually since this is a free to register session, we usually don't give out any participation certificate. What you can do is I am mentioning my email ID here. You can drop in a message. You can drop in an email with the subject certification of participation, and I can see if I can, we can arrange for something. So there is also one question. Please explain commit and rollback.
Commit and rollback, they are used for database. So when you want to put your query completely, and you will not want to go back, do undo, then you do commit. And rollback is similar like undo. You have executed something in your database. Now you thought, okay, this was by mistake, then you do rollback and it will undo one process.
All right. So I am also just quickly launching a poll here. It's a feedback poll for the session. So whoever is attending, they can just let us know how whether they like the session, is it helpful, and if so it'll help us understand if such topics are helpful for the audience and if we can come up with more such topics. Also, someone had asked regarding the recording of this session. I'm just going to share the link to the YouTube video that you can go back to. If in case you missed the session, missed any part of the session, and you want to revisit something. So I've just pasted the link in the chat window. You can just pick it up from there. So thank you so much. I've gotten some a few reactions, I mean, some responses in the feedback poll. Uh, yeah. So thank you so much to all the attendees who attended today. I'm really sorry about the technical glitch that we had. My network connection also got unstable because of something. Last but not the least, Kriti, thank you so much for taking up the time and making the effort and sharing the presentation with so much in so much detail. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. I hope this session was helpful for all. And if you want any detail, you guys can connect with me on LinkedIn as well.
Yeah. All right. All right. Thank you so much. Bye,
Thank you.
everyone.